I'm not going to get into specifics of candidates and who we talked to. We started off with a lot of names, but we had a handful of names that we really focused on, and Dan was one of those. And obviously people were playing games, and so there was some timing as far as when you can get in front of certain people, so we had some time to explore some options more than others. And I said this and I believe this, that you've got to want to be in the SEC, you've got to want to be at the University of Florida, and Dan just checks so many boxes. And I had a friend from Mississippi text me. Most of them have not been nice in the last 24 hours, but I had a guy text me, and he said, I knew it was only a matter of time until some AD would realize what Dan could do with elite talent. And he said, I should have known it was a guy that had known him really well. And so I think the opportunity for him here is just such a perfect fit in so many ways. And he's about relentless effort, as he talks about, and the way he runs his program, the accountability he puts in place, the way he focuses on the weight room, the way he develops young people, the way he evaluates people to decide who to come in the program. What he's done in Mississippi State is historic on so many levels. And if you look at the historical context of what he's done there, I know the raw numbers don't look as good as what Coach Spurrier did here, but from a historical context at that place, it's very similar. I mean, he's changed the whole mindset of that program to one of being a winner. There's an unbelievable game day atmosphere now. The fans go to that place expecting to win and have fun, and it's because Dan's leadership, his personality, the way his teams compete, and I'm excited that he's going to be here. And at this place, given the recent history, I felt like it was really important that we get as close to a sure thing as possible. There's no sure things, but I felt like we had an opportunity with Dan to get as close to a sure thing as possible.
How much misinformation was out there during the search?
There's apparently quite a bit. I told everybody that day there's going to be a lot of rumors and to ignore them, and nobody paid attention to me because there were a lot of rumors, and there was very little accurate information out there. But I think in this day and age, the social media world, as quick as everything moves, it's almost inevitable. Somebody showed me something where the hire dates for this job the last couple times it's been open has been into December. And some of the search started about the same time in a lot of instances. And you could just sense this pressure of, why is this taking so long? We live in such an instant gratification society. I liked our process. We were able to kind of get it done relatively quickly, even though because of where we started, it lasted 4 weeks. I'm glad that we're off the carousel and our program's moving forward.
What about the perception that he's your third choice or second or third, fourth?
I don't. You know what? Somebody made a great point talking about the University of Florida and the high-profile nature of this position. They said, to be really good as a head coach at the University of Florida or any high-profile job, you have to build a moat around your mind. And you can't let any outside perception influence the decisions you make on who you're going to offer scholarships to, what kind of offense you're going to play, who you're going to hire to be on your staff. You have to make the decision you think is best. And you can't worry about what people may or may not think, because, as the rumor mill showed, a lot of that information is really wrong.
Can you give us Tennessee's moat?
Would you have gone after Scott? I mean, would you have gone after Dan had he not been a Mississippi State? Had you not been a Mississippi State grad, alum?
What I referenced saying, I really wanted. The only way I was going to hire Dan, if I thought he was unquestionably the best person, and it's probably fair to say that not because of Dan, but because of my connection to Mississippi State, I was hoping to find somebody I thought was better than Dan. Again, that's not because I don't want to work with Dan or Dan's not a perfect fit here. It's because there's a personal price for me to make this decision, and to my family, and that's going to be a challenge going forward. And the only way I could rationalize that is, I am paid to make the best decision for the University of Florida. I said at the press conference a few weeks ago, if you remember, I said, we're going to hire the best person for Florida. We're not going to do what's best for me or anybody on staff. We're going to do what's best for Florida. And that's what we eventually did. When I was AD at Mississippi State, I made decisions that were best for Mississippi State. And I've got to do the same thing here. And when I got to that point where I realized Dan is the guy, he's the right guy, I kind of cinched my belt and said, we got to do this. We don't have a choice.
Can you give us details on term?
At Mississippi State, when he came, he stayed for 9 years. I mean, and he talked about how much stability,
Right.
and you were part of that. How much does this program right need that kind of stability? A guy who's a long haul.
I think any program needs that. And you look at what Coach Spurrier was referenced a lot in this. 12 years as head coach at the level he was successful here, and then he turned around and was, offered similar stability in South Carolina. Dan is a guy that is everything he does. One of the things I really admire about him, having worked with him previously, is he doesn't think short term. He thinks decisions out for the long-term basis. What's best for the young person? What's best for the school? Some of the facility decisions we made there, we took our time because it benefited us, the school long-term. He redshirted a ton of kids at Mississippi State, and that was part of the secret of the success there because he was more worried about the long-term piece. And so for him to buy into that, he had to understand that the administration there was committed to that. We're going to be the same way. I had a lot of the same people who are mad at me in Mississippi right now. There were times during Dan's tenure where they were banging on me, saying, do we need to change course here because the season wasn't going quite as well as somebody wanted. And I would look at what he was doing and how he was going about, how he's running the program, and had so much confidence in that. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have confidence. We're going to, I don't know what the record's going to look like next year. But I know that if we're patient and 3, 4 years, 5 years down the road, we're going to be competing for championships.
Last can you another coach in this state? I know you're not mentioning.
I'm not going to mention any other candidates.
I'm not asking them.
We had a wide net that we cast, and we talked to people in several states.
One of those boxes you were talking about, Scott, is his ability to develop quarterbacks. How important of a factor was that?
We came back to that a lot, and people point to the issues we've had here at Florida recently on that. So Mississippi State football history, which I'm well versed in, having grown up in the state, is there was not very many quarterbacks of note in the history of the school until Dan showed up, and it was obvious how important that position was. To have any chance of having any success at this level, you've got to have a quarterback, and Dan obviously had a run of them there. And so that just, kind of made an imprint on me that has got to be something every coach has got to be able to answer, how they're going to manage that position and make sure that they're as good as possible at that position. And Dan's track record speak for itself. It's pretty remarkable what he's done.
Did you talk to coaches who this wasn't their dream job and you weren't? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me think of the best way to put this, Mike. You have to really want to be at the University of Florida to be the head coach of the University of Florida, because of all the limelight and the notoriety and all the distractions that could come if you're not paying attention and managing the right way. You've got to really want to be here and know what you're getting into. And I'm not sure every coach we talked to had the same zeal to step into that situation.